live. I didn't even hear the thing. Welcome, guys, to episode 11 of Comic Crunch. Apologize, we didn't have the show yesterday. We had our Batman v Superman spoiler review. Now, if you want to check that out, the link is in the description for you, or the non-spoiler review, that's also there. This week was very Batman v Superman heavy, and it's also a lot of shows that came out this week. I almost didn't watch all of them because of Batman v Superman. So anyway, with me, of course, is one and only Mr. Booredatwork.
My friend, we only had 4 shows this week.
Dude, I had to travel to Boston to go see Batman.
Okay, I get the travel time, but that's what Wednesday and Thursday was for, to make up. And I'll be real. I mean, we really only need to talk about 3 because Arrow was such a letdown that, I mean, all they really needed to do was have Thea say, "What's love got to do with it?" And we could have been done.
Yeah. But before we get to that, let us do some news first. So let's catch up with some comic book.
That we do have a lot of.
All right, so kick things up. What do we have going on first?
Voltron trailer.
Yes, that's right, baby. Voltron, Defender of the Universe, or Voltron Force.
It was only 44 seconds, but you know what? I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if you want to check it out, we have it at Booredatwork.com, the website. Go there and check out the full trailer of Voltron. Show the formation of Voltron. I watched Voltron as a kid, man. I watched all first 26 episodes of the first season, but they are actually 3 seasons. And I haven't watched the other ones just because it's very corny now. But anyway, my memories as a kid, it was dope. So I'm excited.
We got that. We got a few little posters from it.
Mm-hmm.
They showed Ass Face from The Preacher, photo of him.
Yes, they did. Shoot, I can't even share my screen again. I was about to share a photo of Ass Face. You know what? Just keep talking. I'm gonna jump out and jump back. It always happens to me. I don't know why. I apologize, guys. I'll
just
be right
your
back.
luck,
I know. I'll be right back.
But we also had casting news as far as who was playing. I forgot his name in what show. We have a promo for Game of Thrones season 6 that dropped, I guess, yesterday or today for Match Martinez. Nice little promo, nothing new, but still exciting nonetheless. We also have good stuff out there in the world. This is true. We just need to figure out what. A trailer for the Holidays by Kevin Smith and Seth Green movie. Nice little horror flick. And then the exciting news was we got a 30-second promo for The Walking Dead season finale that gives us a glimpse of Negan and Lucille.
Yeah.
Don't mind the German subtitles. Just enjoy the trailer.
Yeah. It's dope. It's pretty dope. Sorry, I had to jump in and jump out. I wanted to share an image of Ass Face just because, he looks pretty damn close to what you see in the comic books. I'm just going to do this here. There we go. Boom. So that's Ass Face. This is what Ass Face looks like in the comic book. So that's pretty damn close. Oof. Yeah. All right. So what else do we have in news besides
little 30-second promo that I mentioned about Game of Thrones that dropped? I'm not sure exactly when it dropped, but I've been seeing it floating today. So
it was yesterday. I just couldn't find it initially yesterday. So
it wasn't, too much of new footage. They just condensed it kind of, but it was still, a little fun.
Yeah. What else? News-wise, what else do we have before we jump over? I'm looking around.
So much goddamn news, and now I can't flip and remember.
News.
Oh, the Wonder Woman picture.
Yeah, Wonder Woman picture.
The mom, her, the aunties.
A
bunch of X-Men new photos with the Horsemen, the teams.
The X-Men photos look much better than what it was previously, because I was not too impressed with the X-Men photo. initially, but
I haven't watched it yet, but Jungle Book released another trailer.
yeah. So that's Wonder Woman right there. The Queen, Wonder Woman aunties right there. And also trailer for Lego Batman dropped this week as well.
You mean the comedy show?
Yeah, that was also pretty funny. Looked cool. As well as 30-second spots for Captain America Civil War. I've done my reaction. It's editing right now. I might try and throw it up in between, but I'll throw it up after the show so you guys can check it out.
Did not notice, so I will watch the reaction.
Yeah, so that's up there. And then, I think that's pretty much it. There's still a lot of BvS stuff in terms of...
Actually, that's not it. There was more news. I just had a look.
Oh, Linda Carter will be showing up in Supergirl.
Yeah, season 2.
Yeah, she's not going to be in the Wonder Woman movie. At least as far as we know, she's not going to be in that.
And I just remembered, we got the Hoff on Baywatch.
On Baywatch.
Oh, there was a new International Suicide trailer released.
Suicide Squad trailer?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that one.
I didn't see it neither.
No, I haven't seen that. Jackie, thanks for joining us. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? I know you went with your girls, right? So lay it on. Let's hear what you think about it while we jump to the show. So let's start off with the first show for the week, The Walking Dead.
Okay, this one I can't see. Let me see where it redirects me. Walking Dead was okay, a little slow, but I got where it was going.
Okay. No, Walking Dead was cool. It's a good episode. So that means Carol left, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, at the end, she's leaving. But the question is, I had this discussion a little bit earlier in the day with my one of my buddies that normally joins us on our Geeks of the Round Walking Dead panel, but hasn't made it in a few. Mm-hmm. But we came to the conclusion, because in the comic book, after the war, Michonne takes off for a little while. She goes off on her own to do some soul searching.
Yeah, it's not Michonne in this one, so it's her.
Obviously, it's not Michonne because, Michonne is playing a totally different role.
Yeah.
But we kind of looked at it, well, you know what? Because I brought it up to him, well, what if she's playing the Michonne lead in the comic where she took off for a little while to soul search? But in the comic, Michonne was, pondering love, because it seemed to be all the guys she messed with ended up croaking.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of scenario. Carol don't have to be in love, but everything that happened between the death of Sam, Tobin telling her his little speech, Paula getting into her head, and Maggie being pregnant, that could mess with her psyche a little bit. And not to mention Morgan's batshit crazy ideas.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I definitely agree with you. It was a good episode. It had that nice Walking Dead slow build up, which wasn't too bad. Where they paced things well. Overall, it was sad to see that girl die. I understand why the doctor, she wanted to go out, because she wanted, how it is. Like, you've been inside the whole time. You want to feel like you're contributing. I get it, even though she's been contributing a lot, being the doctor.
I was shocked that they killed her off.
Yeah, I figured she wasn't going to be killed in the comic book, but I figured because now they're going into a stage of all-out war, having the doctor or not does not even really matter at this point.
It does, because when you get injured,
I think a lot of people are just dying. Either they're going to be alive or die. I think that's the way they would do it. Where some people,
she took Abraham's place. Abraham is the one who took the arrow to the back of the head in issue 98. He was walking. You remember the scene where him and Eugene are walking down that alley where they're heading towards the gun warehouse?
Yeah.
That place. That's where Abraham dies in the comic.
So I guess
on the road, they're walking. It's just them two. They captured Eugene.
So it means that they might be pushing him to that. Again, we don't know who's going to die in that place of what's his name?
Season 6 finale.
Season 6 finale. The three options are either Abraham, Daryl, or what's his name again?
Glenn.
Glenn is the least out of all three, just because we've seen the fake deaths already. So,
well, I read something and it really pissed me off.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
But if they go that route to end this show, I'm gonna be so livid. They didn't tell you who they're gonna kill. Mm-hmm. They just say the show might end on a cliffhanger from the POV view of who's taking the hit.
Okay.
And if they do that, that's just, I get it. You want to keep the generation, maybe talking for a minute, but that's just a pussy way out.
Okay. All right. Let's just calm the brakes down. Let's calm the brakes down. And see. Let's see how it is. But it was a good episode all the same. Next up Monday, Supergirl.
Yep.
Supergirl episode. You know what? Yeah. I mean, I knew the dad was going to come back, and I knew there had to be some way he wasn't necessarily dead. So I'm glad that they're bringing him back, because I was hoping to see more of him in Supergirl. What's his name again? Dean Cain, former Superman. I like the way they've used Martian Manhunter. I like the fact that he's been very calm, in the sense that, look, I really can do a lot, but you know what? This is not my show. Almost, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna let her. If I need to step in, I step in. But also, I don't need to show that I am. I'm all powerful, so to speak. They limited his powers, though. I like the way they did it in the show, because in the comic books, Martian Manhunter, it doesn't matter if he changes shape, he's still the same. In this one, when he changes shape, he retains the power in that shape. I mean, he becomes as powerful as a character in that shape. So as a human being, that's why, he couldn't really escape. When the guy came in, he was like, "Oh, we made something that keeps you in your state."
Oh, that's a cop out.
I mean, it's a cop out, but it's still a good cop out. It's not. I mean, to me, is that you always want, the show has to be about Supergirl.
Always, yes, I get that. I get that, but still, make the man as powerful as he is in the comic, and that's it. He doesn't have to use all those abilities. He could have dumbed it down himself by saying, "You know what? I could," like when in Man of Steel, Superman walking with the handcuffs on. Yeah, just to show the humans that, you got me handcuffed, whoop-de-doo. But if I really wanted to, I could just snap these shits off and break your neck. But I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, true. I get that point. I get that point. But it was still a good episode. I liked it. Good flow. Yeah. We know who becomes Banshee. Banshee is really powerful. I mean, she's a Superman villain. She gives Superman headaches more than anything else, just because her scream is super loud, though. I mean, it is painful. So,
poor Win. He can't catch a break.
I know, man. He's dad. He's the super villain.
Dad's psychotic. His girlfriend now becomes a villain.
I mean, the girl he loves don't like him like that. Yeah, but Win has a tough break, man. Tough break. So when's the Flash episode then?
Monday.
Oh wow. Is that season finale?
No, it was just going to be. It was just a crossover event for Monday.
Oh, sweet. I thought it was a season finale. I was like, we got to wait. Wow, I didn't know it was that. Okay, cool.
No, what I found stupid, like I discussed Wednesday evening on my other channel with my other friends, I didn't like this setup, because at the end of the Flash, where we're going next, he takes off where he ends up. If Supergirl's Earth is a different dimension, the way they're planning it out to be, how the hell does he get there?
We'll see it. We'll see it at some point. The reason why I'll put it this way, right? The reason why they're doing it now, right, is for us to show that he was able to go back to Earth 2. He lost his way to Earth 2, and then he's coming back. He's going to go back to. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what it is that Supergirl, right, that we see on Monday, is him trying to go to Earth 2 or coming back from Earth 2, one of the two positions, right? And then on his way, he gets lost, and he basically lands in our world, helps out, and then he has to find, I think it says he has to find his way home, right? So I guess he's coming back from Earth 2. So that's how they will play when that fight with Zoom happens.
But see, that's the funny thing, because next week's preview for Flash is he's dealing with dementias.
No, it doesn't matter though. The reason is just because they couldn't get it done in time, and you can't put it as a season finale. But
You know what? You got a point.
Yeah,
that episode was probably filmed,
mm-hmm.
and Supergirl wasn't just yet when they started doing the whole.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and then, I mean, the good thing was the Greg Rucka, whatever the hell his name is, the executive for Berlanti.
yeah,
he comes out and says, this doesn't mean Supergirl could cross over to the Flash universe.
Yeah.
And she can get there on her own. So I'm wondering, are they going to leave this at the same Earth? Or
no. She
can't time travel.
No, this is remember, this Superman is based off the Christopher Reeve Superman. Remember one of his powers? Spinning the Earth backwards, right? From Superman 1.
That was stupid.
Superman 2, sorry. I mean, Superman 1, my bad. Yeah, so they could throw that. I'm just giving you options.
So what the hell is she going to do? She's going to fly around the sun and spin the sun?
I don't know. I'm just saying that's one of her power suites that will come forth.
See, what would be cool, how they could explain it, they figure out a way to open breaches, and they leave that breach between her Earth and his Earth open.
Yeah.
So if he needs her help for something,
I think what's going to happen, either that or she was going to ask, what's his name, Max Lord, to help her open up the breach or something or whatever. I mean, Max Lord is there to do that kind of stuff. He's smart enough, right? That's the whole idea. So it's possible one of the two, either it's open or Max Lord helps. Either Max Lord also helps them open up the breach so that Barry can go back. And then he's, just like, what's his name again? Doctor in Flash. So let's move on to Flash on Tuesday, which was a good episode. This is an episode more of reveals. I like the fact that at least Barry used his head for. It's been a while though. I mean, like as soon as he saw the blue, he was like, "Oh no."
Honestly, when I started seeing the blue, I thought Zoom was coming into play.
I was like, and he was like, "No."
But then she just disintegrated.
She just disintegrated. That's how you know that Hunter Zolomon is Zoom.
So you think Zoom is that the Jay Garrett that's playing Zoom is actually Hunter Zolomon?
Yeah, from
Earth 1.
I don't know where Earth though. I know he's Hunter Zolomon, but I think Hunter Zolomon. I think what it is just that Jay, the one that died, was going to become Zoom at some point. The one that got stabbed, and he's always pushing himself to that point because he's using Velocity 9. It was a cool episode. I mean, the fact that she was way faster than him. Velocity 9 is a hell of a drug, man. I mean, her speed was.
It kind of gave me the impression that Caitlin's not as smart as she thinks she is. If this kid from another lab was able to replicate her formula with just 3 ingredients.
I think that was just the foolish comic book writing they write sometimes, where they wanted to make it obvious and then they try to cover Caitlin's tracks at the same time. But I did this instead of just making it. She said like, "Oh, I did this," and oh crap, like I left some other information in there, right? I'll accept that. I'll be like, you know what? You were trying to help. What's his name? Jay. So of course you just kind of like, I got to send it out. You didn't really think twice, that kind of thing. Yeah, you make mistakes. People make mistakes, but they didn't want to put it that way. So I understand how they went there, but overall it was a cool episod.
Did you enjoy Trajectory?
What?
Did you like the character?
I liked it for what it was meant to do. The vehicle was meant to give them that organic way to find out who he was, because Cisco still has this very pansy way of dealing with his powers right now. He doesn't really, like he said, he doesn't really open his mouth and say, like, literally, if I'm vibing, remember I vibe, no one can touch me while I'm vibing. The bad guy I'm seeing can't touch me. It doesn't matter. So I should just be like, guys, I just saw Zoom. Like, give me.
But I think Cisco's problem is the fact that he doesn't want to embrace his powers just yet.
Grow up, man.
Because he wants to still go to the club and get turned.
You can. He saw his other version, right? That guy looked cool, like he was getting turned every week. And
he was also evil.
Just say.
It was. I like what they did this week. It felt cool. It wasn't stupid.
Yeah, that's the thing. Thank you, 2 cents, man. I don't know when Cisco become full out vibe. I mean,
They'll probably wait for season 3.
maybe season 3, or we will see him in Legends of Tomorrow. That's a cool way of showing him vibe in the future, or whatever timeline you want to do.
Well, I read something about that. That cast is going to stay the same. That the only new addition will be in the season finale.
No, I'm talking about season 2, not this season.
For Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, season 2.
And who else deals with time jumping in this universe?
Cisco.
No.
I don't know who else.
Booster Gold.
Oh yeah, Booster Gold is coming. Yeah, that's another news. Jeff Johns came out and said that Booster Gold is coming, and he's coming in various formats. So there's a Booster Gold Blue Beetle movie they're talking about. Probably Booster Gold will show up in Legends of Tomorrow because he's the father of Rip Hunter, and Rip Hunter actually recruits him. It was actually the storyline for DC Legend, where it technically comes from Booster Gold, where he was recruited by Rip Hunter to clear up the timeline. So yeah, Booster Gold, definitely. I can definitely see it. But
and then what we did forget to mention is the young lady who played Vixen in Arrow. Mm-hmm. She started recording her voice for season 2
of the Seeds,
of her little TV show.
Yeah, they need to just give her a full show.
I don't know if they want. Honestly, what I would want the CW to do, and I wish they were listening, is take all their little comic book properties and scale them back to 15-episode seasons. Yeah. And then you can share more universes together and have more tight-knit stories. Because where we're going, well...
No, we need, before we get there, let's go to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hold that thought first. So this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There were highs and lows for me in this episode. The lows was the whole relationship between, what's their name again?
Bobby and Hunter.
In the sense, not that it was a low. I like the way they finished out the episode, like the goodbye and like the fact that they had to leave, because I understand the pairing. It makes sense. That part of the show makes sense, but just getting to that point didn't. I liked the villain of the week they had, with although they were kind of foolish from the very beginning. If the guy controls the shadow, you should have shot him.
They didn't know he controlled his shadow.
I already knew that looking at the thick creature. Maybe I read too many comic books. Yeah. All right, 2 cents, man. Take it easy. Maybe I read too many comic books or something, but it's just simple, right? If you say the shadow is independent of him in terms of moving, then for you to stop the shadow, you have to stop him, because you can't stop the shadow, but both of them are still connected. Duh.
You want to know what my issue with it? I like the episode overall. Like you said, it had its highs and its lows. One of the lows was they get off the plane, whatever. They're in the middle of Siberia in the dead of winter, but yet they're not cold because they want to roll around in the dirt and use their binoculars. Where the hell did you get the binoculars from? And then secondly, they get caught by the little 4-man group. And out of her ass, she pulls out her fucking batons.
Remember, she lost it, right?
Because, dude, they showed her backside when she went up against a tree. No.
When she came out of the plane. Remember, she came out of the plane. She's like, I don't have it.
And then she has them?
Yeah, inconsistencies. But, whatever. It was still a good enough episode to watch. So.
And see, that's where the news came from. There was a lot of casting news for that show.
Yeah,
Marvel's Most Wanted.
Marvel's Most Wanted, yeah. So we'll see how that turns out. Now moving on to the last show, Arrow, and Jackie. I got your point on BvS and One-on-One. We'll talk about that after we're done with Arrow. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Arrow, I read somewhere Arrow needs to end. Arrow.
It doesn't need to end. They still have stories to tell, but they just need to cut down their episode count.
Yeah.
Because dude, this week we deal with love. Really? Love? Cupid? Stupid shit? Oh, I don't love anymore because I'm a deranged lunatic. the one guy that I love, he didn't love me. He never loved you to begin with.
No, the only good part of the episode was the trial, which surprisingly.
Yeah, we finally get to see Laura Lance, and she sucks as a lawyer. I'm sorry.
I mean, she's still terrible as a lawyer, but the trial itself was cool. The fact that their father came out and, he just ruined his career because, he had to stop it, But Laura, Laura was, that part was fine. It was fine, whatever.
Trial was fine.
Everything
else just sucked.
It's terrible, man.
Oh my God, I hated this week's episode. And then next week, another type boring filler and we're getting Beth back.
Who's Beth?
From The Walking Dead. She's a super genius that controls bees.
The one of Flash?
No, she wasn't on Flash last. She was on Arrow last year.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like, come on, you're killing me. We have better storylines. I want to know what's up with Damien Dark in that ring. Does that give him another power source? Yeah. Give me that storyline, not this stupid shit you're giving me.
I don't know.
Oh God! That's why Flash, Arrow, cut it down to 15 episode seasons, and you could fill in those other spots with a Vixen season.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. 15 episode seasons instead of the 22. CW, you don't have to have traditional 24. You got enough room. Same thing with shows like Supernatural. Except at least with Supernatural, when they do filler episodes, they do fan service in their filler episodes. Like Supernatural does, they do wrestling. They always do one wrestling filler episode every year because they have fans who like wrestling, and it's fan service. But at least we know it's almost like saying you're doing an episode for me where Booster Gold shows up in Legend of Tomorrow and he does all these quirky stuff that's only in comics. I get it, but that's for fans. You can throw stuff like that in there, but you can't do all these other unnecessary
it's just useless
filler episodes. So I definitely agree. 15, 16 episodes done. You have it nice and neat, and then you now have a recurring universe right there. Like you said.
And the best thing about it is, look, the 100, which we don't discuss, but we will discuss the whole season as a whole once Thunder E gets caught up.
When's the season end? And then we'll do a season review after the last episode.
Their first season was 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Their second season, they bumped it up to 15 or 16. I don't remember.
That's what it needs to be.
Perfect. This season's the same thing. The same route. It keeps the story so much more tight. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they should take this page because they take that long ass hiatus to debut Agent Carter.
Yeah.
They should look at it. You know what? We're going to cut back to 15 episode seasons and be done with it. And then we could put in these other shows that we're working with down the pipe.
Yeah, because the other thing too is the cost, right? So if you look at it, right, if you cut Arrow and Flash down to 15, then DC Legends Tomorrow and Flash become tied together in budget because these are the big special effects shows. That's how I'm going to put them, right? So that budget there would be, say the budget for Arrow was, let's call it 1 million, and DC Legends Tomorrow was 1.5. Now the budget for both would be about maybe 1.6, 1.7. Yeah, you're saving, 300,000 off there, but you're still saving money off that, right? Same thing with Arrow and Vixen. Now, Arrow and Vixen is even cheaper because you can make the cities look similar. You can use the same sets that you use. You just have to reverse order something.
We've seen it with Flash and Arrow.
Yeah, so you can do that
on the same parking lot
with Arrow and Vixen, and you can have that show. And to me, if they were smart, especially after this weekend that we've seen Wonder Woman, everybody loves Wonder Woman. It's about time you start throwing out some really, strong female characters have been rising in TV. We've seen that with 100. We've seen that with other shows, Game of Thrones and the rest of them. So it's about time you start throwing in more. Especially you have one where she showed up in Arrow. People liked her. Her online series is doing well. People like that. So you might as well just build up on that. And then there's also literally you build up on this momentum of Wonder Woman that's just shown up. And then you carry on. Supergirl is the other one too. Supergirl needs to be. I understand how CBS they want to do a full. Supergirl should be 15, 16 episodes and done. If they want to go max out, maximum 19, 20, not 24. I'm just saying. I understand. No, because it's CBS.
I get it. The tradition now is 22 episodes.
Yeah, okay. Remember, it used to be 24, man. Ooh.
Back in the day, but now they cut it back down to
22. Okay, then so, 15, 16 episodes. 15, 16.
Dude, what Supergirl should do, we know that this universe is going to get tied together. They're sister companies. They can take one episode where everyone goes to her universe to help her fight something where the production's a little bit bigger and it would look better. And it would be awesome. You don't have to bring her down to the CW because you know what? That's like bringing her down to the minors. She's in the majors. Leave her up there. Bring the crew up to her for an episode or two crossover, and then send them back down to their networks. And it would be great because they don't need to have all these 22 episode seasons because it just becomes stupid. Flash this season, for all the praise it got last season, this season it's like almost as bad as season 3 of Arrow with all the highs and lows.
No, not even close. Not even close. Season 3 of Arrow is like no. That's an abomination, man. Do not even say that. My God, what is wrong with you, man?
But Flash has felt like that for every good episode they gave us this season. We get
see, at least okay. Even if you say it was 1 for 1, one good, one bad, Arrow had 1, 2, 3. Okay, for every one good episode, we had to go through 3 or 4 bad ones.
Okay, yeah, it was horrible last season.
Oh yeah, so don't let's not even go there. Let's not go there. All right, so going back to Jackie's comment, she said, I saw the Wonder Woman picture. It was awesome. Gal Gadot is beautiful. Also saw BvS and I liked it, but damn, there was a lot thrown at me. I have to see it again. I say see it again. We've discussed it to death. We even had, Soldier Knows Best joined us today, and he didn't want to talk about Redbox. He's like, let's go straight to Batman v Superman. And we had the discussion there. As far as all of us, it's me, Lou, Sam, Warren, Soldier, everyone that we've discussed on the shows live. Everybody likes the movie.
It's a fun movie.
Everybody likes it. Everybody says, everybody has different degrees. I'll say the person who, like Warren said, he won't see it again. But then again, we also know Warren doesn't see much in theaters. So I think Man of Steel really made him go see this movie. And
but what you mentioned earlier in that hangout, it's kind of true. If you didn't see Man of Steel, they kind of give you a quick recap of what the events were that causes Batman to get the way he got. I love the fact that we got Batman's origin in literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In that opening sequence, Mama and Papa Kent bite the dust. They don't dwell on it. They get it done, over with, and quick. Boom. You see him run away from the funeral, fall down a big old hole. That's it. We don't go back there ever again. Unlike all the other flipping movies that took forever to get that shit done.
Tomorrow, actually, I'm going to record it after this, probably. I'm going to give you my Easter egg breakdown. A lot of things in there in terms of like comic book reference and stuff like that. So you guys can see that. Maybe I'll drop it tonight. Depends on whenever I'm done with it, just so you guys can see some of the stuff. Just because it's some really cool stuff. Stuff I picked up, stuff that I've seen from other sites that put out. I'm just gonna like bring all of them together so you guys can see. But I agree. For some people, it's a movie that you might need to see a second time. For me, seeing a second time was not a reveal. Was more. I actually sat down like this and I was like, The first time I was even judging it. And I was going when I first time I watched it, I was like, pacing. Then I realized while watching the movie, I'm like, wait, there's no pacing issues for me because I get it. I was saying in the other hand, I said maybe people want to be spoon fed, the storylines. And
you guys are telling me all these exciting news stories from y'all theaters. My theater was dead as shit. They didn't give a flying fuck about anything.
My theater, Jackie, my theater, like literally, when the Flash showed up, Sam was sitting next to me. Some guys behind you were like, "What the hell?" And somebody could hear people like, "Flash, it's the Flash." And then Sam's like, "Wait, is that the? That's the?" I was like, "Yeah, it's the Flash. It is." And yeah, my theater actually was very lively on all the points. Starting with Alfred and his snide remarks. I
liked Alfred.
Yeah, I mean Perry White and his jokes. You got to take Coach. All those things. And then when the Flash showed
extra
up,
leg room.
Yeah, when the Flash showed up, like the reason I liked both Perry and Alfred is you could see they really enjoyed that role. Like you see Alfred, Perry was like, "Yeah, I'm boss here. You know what? Superman will walk around, give me some articles. Like, where is the article? Where is the article? Where is it gonna be? So,
yep.
It
came with that big old sheet of paper, missing the whole section.
Mind you, sorry, it's all spoilers I'm talking about here if you haven't seen the movie yet. But even then, like I said, with those characters, and then Wonder Woman showed up. So, Jackie, what was the reaction when Wonder Woman showed up? I meant your reaction as well as also your theater, just because my theater, I'm telling you, like I said, the woman next to me was like, "Hell yeah!" Everybody was clapping, cheering. I think I saw some people stand up in the corner of my eye, literally. Like I never expected it to be such a fervor for this character to come on screen. I mean, I knew and I wanted to see it too, but I didn't expect people to be like just go ballistically nuts like that in theater. So that was nice. Carl says Batman's origin story is absolutely not necessary. Not even a casual person knows Batman's backstory. See, Carl, I will agree and disagree. The thing about it is that with Batman, it is now a given. You must throw his backstory. For you, yeah, probably. Even for me, I don't need it too.
I don't need it, but a person like my kid who didn't read comics, who's only 17, he doesn't know any of this backstory. So he sees that, he's like, okay, now I get an understanding. Or a person like my mom, she don't read no comics, but she sees that story, so she gets a little more of an understanding. As long as you keep it short
and sweet, yeah. See, that's why I said that. I think the one mistake he made was after that, they should have done big logo. The Batman Superman logo. Not there, sorry. After that backstory and after the Metropolis, then you throw in the big Batman logo, Batman v Superman. And that would tell people that is the beginning of the movie.
Honestly,
it's a mind trick. That's all it is.
Warren was saying the logo was in the corner. I never even noticed the logo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I thought there was no logo. You need to do a big one. It's a mind trick. People think it's the beginning of the movie. That's one thing you do. The second thing is, you remember that scene in the Indian Ocean? Oh, where they found kryptonite? Beautiful. It's a beautiful scene. I know why Snyder did it, but you take it out. You know why? You take out that scene when Lex is telling the senators about kryptonite. You show a video of the scene as we're taking out of the sea, and the guy breaks the rock, and say, "Look, we need to ship that in here." That's it. That's all you need to do. That will cut off, and that will change the pacing, because the movie starts with Lewis in Africa, and then everything flows from there. That is why people were disjointed, and I don't understand how you are, but even though it tells you the different time periods, but I get it. You do the logo, you take that scene out, it pretty much goes, the way people want to flow. Jackie says, "Oh my God, I was screaming, and most of the crowd, especially women, went crazy." Yeah, I mean, it was a very good intro. As much as people complain and bitch that they spoiled it in the trailer by showing her in there, I didn't see that reaction from anyone at all. I mean, I didn't see people go, "Oh, I saw it in the trailer."
Her scenes from the trailers were mostly all her scenes in the movie, but it was still fun knowing, like, she shows up, saves Batman. Let's be real. And then I read something earlier that he improvised that line.
Yeah, he said
to make it more impactful.
He's like, "Oh,
because he was stuck."
Yeah,
but it was great.
It was. I mean, it was a very good, like a good basis. Like, the one other thing I would change, like I said, for me, it's three things, and it's not necessarily. I'm not changing the movie. I said put the logo, take out that scene in the Indian Ocean, And this is the part that some people didn't like. Like I said, with the cameos, cut the cameo scene where Wonder Woman looks at it and put it as an end credit scene where Batman goes back to the Batcave and, pondering and checks that out himself.
Like I said,
and that would just
out of all the cameos, I just did not like Cyborg's.
Yeah, Cyborg's cameo, I didn't like the way they represent. I agree. I think what they should have done, should have just shown him there, right? Like how they did in the Board, right? Cut to the mother box, and then the mother box starts sparking and just cut it. Like make it quick, make it very ta-ta-ta, and then you're like, what the fuck? That's more for like hardcore fans, but everybody knows Flash and Aquaman, and you could just leave it at that, like at that point. Carl says the movie was bad. While I was in theater, it was very quiet. 6 people clapped, and they didn't know why they were clapping. People were lost when the movie was over. I disagree with you, Carl. I mean, I know you posted it earlier, said the movie was bad. I completely disagree. I thought the movie was very good for me. Again, I don't need to be spoon-fed with my movies, so it's easier for me to understand this stuff. But I like all these different takes. I like a darker Batman v Superman movie. And I also like the lighthearted Marvel movies, except when it becomes too lighthearted like Avengers 2 or too useless like Iron Man 3, which I didn't like at all. They destroyed the Mandarin for me. I called it quits at that point. The courtroom explosion scene was so dark. Like, I can't believe they went there. I mean, I know. I think that was you said that. That's right. A lot of people, to me, there's some of the scenes that they couldn't believe it.
Shit. Just thinking back on that scene when the senator's speaking, and she's like, "What is that?" I'm thinking it was some kind of form of tea. That was her, and it has a being pissed. Lex is a dick.
Yeah, I mean, no, the courtroom scene was dark. It was really dark, but I like the fact that they really brought that out. Like they showed the extent of what Lex would do. If Lex would do that, then he would do anything. And I think a lot of people missed that point. They really missed the point, because to me, like I said, that was one of the, and I get it. Remember when Jesse Eisenberg did his interviews, he said he loved doing the scenes with Holly Hunter. It's like he felt like it was very personal. And I loved Holly Hunter in this. She was great. She played that typical like Democratic senator who was going, like it seems she's against Superman, but she's not really against Superman. Meanwhile, the other senator just wanted to be a pure Republican and give all the arms to Lex. So I like.
You saw that Lex had no problem in killing everyone in that room, including the one who helped him get access to all that shit.
Yeah, he killed his assistant. He killed the guy.
I still don't think Marcy's dead, bro.
Whether she's dead or not, but I mean, he at least she put her there to be killed. Let's call it what it is. He just put her there to be killed. Dominic says, just seen the movie this morning, and my wife and I loved it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those movies there where, trust me, if you watch it a second or third time, I think you really get that exposure out of it. It's not, look, I just did my trailer analysis for Captain America Civil War. That's a completely different movie. It's going to be lighter. It's not, even though they're saying it's dark, I'm looking at the trailers, I'm like, I don't see the darkness here. I get the tone you're trying to do, but yeah.
And it's going to make more money.
Oh yeah, it will make more money. It will make more money than this. They should have just used the file and not actual footage when Wonder Woman opened up the file. Actually could have left that part out.
I agree.
You mean for the other characters?
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I say keep that as an end credit sequence, then it would be fine. I'm just saying, because you know very well when you go to an end credit, right? Your mind is done from the movie, right? See, because this is that's why I say it works this way. Think about it. You just watched it. You just saw them bury Superman, right? And you're like, oh, man. And then, because technically the movie left you on a note where, as a fan, I knew Superman's coming back, but everybody was like, wow, you just killed him, right? And then next minute, Bruce Wayne goes back to his PC and is like, clicks on that Lex file again, and you now see the Flash, and then you see the Flash, you see Cyborg, you see Aquaman. You're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for Justice League. That's what I think they should have done. Because if you do a file and click
the whole Cyborg thing just felt out of place, for the simple fact is, how the hell did he get so banged up? Are we going to use the whole Metropolis scenario that he lost his arm, his legs, what the hell, his waist, all that shit because of Metropolis? What's the
I don't know. All we know from Cyborg thing is that box, the mother box, came from the U.S. military, which means Darkseid has been here for a while. And he said the date. He mentioned the date quickly. I just can't remember what date specifically, but he mentioned it for a while. Kyle says, I agree with you. Iron Man 3, that was so bad. As much as so many people love that movie, as a comic book fan, it was utter trash. It was entertaining, still utter trash. I'll tell anybody to go watch it, but I don't like the movie as much as most people do. Eddie says, I'm a huge DC fan. I had mixed feelings. Like I said, watch it again. You most likely will flesh it out for you.
I plan to watch it again, but it will be July 16th when I can watch the whole longer version. Because
R-rated cut, yeah. Jackie says,
I feel like that's the Lord of the Rings version of it, where we'll get the whole beauty.
Jackie says, Jesse as Lex was hit or miss for me, but the opening sequence of the film was beautiful. The flashback and the Zod fight was haunting, seeing the human perspective. It was. I mean, that's the thing. I think they wanted to show you what kind of levels, taking people to. That I think that would have been good there. And like I said, I like Jesse more as Lex. The more I even think about it too, just because his own Lex was a crazy genius. Like Sam said, he's like when he was doing the handshake. Those are signs that we've seen in movies of like genius intellect who cannot be contained by the human perception. That's literally what he was telling us. It's like, I'm not this. And then somebody stated this, and this is the party I agree they did not do this well. When Lex was talking about Darkseid at the end, remember that?
Yeah.
You know where he got it from? I totally forgot.
I don't. Explain.
Scout ship, there are 100,000 galaxies. Please teach me.
Okay, I could see that point.
They didn't. I'm saying if you wanted to do that, you might have shown some explanation of it, or I don't know. Maybe something. That was the only thing. That's the thing where.
That's the thing where we don't know, because what if that scene is in that 3-hour cut?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we don't know, but we'll see how it is. An end credit scene like that is too Marvel. You see, I agree too. I think that's where like Snyder is fighting some of this stuff where it's like but I wish he should have done for the end credit sequence was play the credit scene like how he did. If you've seen Watchmen, so he did the way he did the opening sequence where he showed the story while doing the credits, the same thing he did in Watchmen. He should have done that whole end credit sequence the same way, like that. And then that tells a different story altogether. But it's one of those things where this is not an easy movie to balance at all. It's not an easy movie. So right now, a lot of people are saying you should kick Zack Snyder out, bring somebody else to do Justice League. A lot of people are saying bring George Miller. Just remember, George Miller wanted to do Justice League Mortal, and his storyline for that was not that good. So, and his casting choices were even off. But I like George Miller in Mad Max Fury Road. I think a standalone Superman movie, he can do that well, probably, but I'm not too sure.
Like I said, the movie was fun. It had its ups and downs, but you still understand what they were trying to do. I think the R-rated version is going to balance this movie out very well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that too. But I mean, to Carl's point, I don't think this movie is a bad movie. I don't care what anyone says. This movie is, if I were to take it away from me, if I was to step aside as being me and judge it separately, I'll put the movie at an 8. Me, I'm still giving it 10. That's just me. But if I were to do that separately away, take my fanboy out of it, I'll give it an 8.
You want to know what happened to Snyder?
What?
Zack Snyder got hit with the Josh Whedon effect from Age of Ultron.
Yeah. And you know what? This movie's better than that. Because Age of Ultron really pissed me off.
Age of Ultron would benefit so well from that director's cut.
Have you watched the director's cut? No, they never released it.
They never made one. They
See.
have those scenes, but they don't want to cut them back into the movie. See, that's what they should have done. is, okay, we gave you the theater version. Now we're going to give you the Blu-ray special where you get the director and theater version. And I guarantee you that movie will get better reviews with the director's cut than it was getting. And Batman vs. Superman is getting that same effect.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Watchmen had the same effect too, though. I mean, Watchmen 3-hour ultimate cut is I mean, Watchmen alone was a fantastic movie. The 3-hour cut was, I swear to God, I really felt like I was reading a visual Watchmen comic. And as much as anybody wants to bitch and complain about the way he slightly changed the bad guy at the end, which was a giant squid, didn't work for the movie, that was perfect. And I agree with you, it might be the case here. Yeah, Carl didn't like Jesse. I mean, I knew people wouldn't like Jesse Eisenberg but I'll tell you this. Let me put it this way. Jesse Eisenberg's Lex exists in the comic books. This is how I do it. For me, this is how I read comic book movies. If the characterization, I can't find it in the comic books, then you've destroyed the character. Case in point, Superman Returns. Superman there in that movie was spying on his girlfriend, crying, and then he left the planet for 7 years, didn't pay child support, wiped the girl's mind out. I can go run through a list. That is not a Superman character. So that is, of course, a terrible movie. Second one, let's move over to Iron Man 3. The Mandarin, destroyed as a villain. People were like, oh, you shouldn't make him Asian or not. When I was like, look, if you want to make a character a certain way, or you need to do it justice. And they threw that out the window. Age of Ultron, another one. They picked a stroller character, and what happened? They threw him in the toilet. He became a whiny little kid at the end of the whole movie. And I didn't care. I really didn't care what happened. Take all the X-Men movies, all of them. Even Days of Future Past, which I like as a movie, but I call it X-Men Elseworld because most of the characterization of the X-Men don't fit. But it fit for what he wants to do in that universe. They're still good movies to watch, you know? So you're asking, like, what happened if Doomsday won? Then what would Lex do? Yeah, I mean, Lex wanted to end Superman. If you know Lex in the comic books, he will go all out to destroy Superman.
And that's why Doomsday was created.
That Lex was taking part of it from Lex Luthor, Man of Steel, where he sees, and again, he said his justification in this. He said, I learned as a child that God can only be good or he can be all powerful. It's one of the two. Where was God when I was a child? He saved me from my father's beating. I learned early, God can be all good or all powerful. I'm going to show the world that you are neither. And for him to destroy Superman, he needs somebody that powerful. And when he learns from Kryptonians, I mean, my thing is, do you have to spell it out, or can you just say, look, these are the consequences to take steps? So, I mean, I get it. Like, some people just won't get it.
At first, I was a little confused with the whole, he took the body there, drowned him, but then it made more sense. He learned about that through the AI in the computer system.
But it doesn't even matter, though. We all know Kryptonian tech. You don't actually spend your time doing stuff. The computer does shit for you. I mean, maybe that is an allusion to Man of Steel, because in Man of Steel, remember, you tell the computer, the Helix, it does shit. That's all it is, you know? But even that too, the computer says, oh, we cannot do this. And he said, why? He said, Kryptonian Council says you shouldn't do it. He's like, where's the Kryptonian Council? Oh, they are deceased. He said, proceed, continue. Done. I mean, do you want him to take test tubes and do? I'm like, to me, I like, really.
He couldn't have created Doomsday in his own laboratory.
No, he couldn't.
He needed that ship.
And he did what he had to do. So I get that. Like, Lex is that smart enough to take advantage of the, stuff. He's smart enough to use, his own. The thing about it is that he used Zod's fingerprints, not because you can take Zod's hand there. It also needs heat from a body. And then he rewrote the code. I'm sure people wanted to see him type and write the code, but he just did it anyway. And I mean, you can say that Lex is a smart guy in this universe. Now, I agree with Sam to a certain degree. Yeah, I didn't like the fact that Lex knew everybody's identity, but also consider the fact that Lex,
that's his genius in play. That's why he knew everybody's identity.
I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, I think the thing is that with Lex, everybody expects a suave Lex. I've been reading comic books for a long time. Lex was a genius from the beginning of the comics till now, before he was ever a businessman.
Honestly, I didn't need Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I didn't. I definitely did not need Kevin Spacey's one. That was worse.
And he kind of had a little feel for Kevin Spacey's Lex, just not creating a fucking island.
Yeah.
He was like Kevin Spacey's Lex was a little off the wall to a point, not Jesse Eisenberg Lex crazy.
Yeah.
So
no,
I mean,
no,
I found it great, and I'm glad they didn't cast him as Jimmy Olsen because
I
think he would have been horrible.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen's in this movie too.
Did you see him? I don't think I did.
Yes, he is. I would tell you all in the spoiler, in the Easter egg.
I mean, he wasn't the dude in Africa, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was.
That can't be him, man. He wasn't working for no CIA.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Olsen. Zack Snyder said it was Jimmy Olsen, but then again, they can change that. So that's that. They never named him as Jimmy Olsen, so they can change that.
Oh God, that's a cop out for Jimmy Olsen if that's the case.
I know. No, I think in this universe, Zack Snyder doesn't like Jimmy Olsen. He doesn't like that friend of Superman like role. It's like, no. I mean, I agree with him. Like Jimmy Olsen is one of those characters didn't do much for me. They tried to change him a couple of times, but he was too much of like a Superman, like, BFF fan club type stuff.
He was a Superman cloney.
Yeah, exactly. Bad groupie. So it wasn't a thing. But I get this movie. A lot of people feel, oh, how did this? To me, as a movie audience, it's me personally. I'm not trying to diss anyone. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I personally do not like, and I don't like movies spoon-feeding me, which is why a lot of Marvel movies I will watch. Ant-Man is one. There was a lot of spoon-feeding, and the villain was generic. Everybody said it was a great movie. I'm like, it was cool. It was good. I mean, if I was taking my little cousins to see it, sure. And they wouldn't even like that either because they're like, for them, this is too slow. They want something where they can build up. So I get it. It may not be for everyone, but it's not a bad movie. Sorry, Carl. I apologize. But yeah, I mean, for what it is, check it out. Bat Guy says he's watching my spoiler review at the same time as watching this. Okay, double dose. Good luck with that. Like I said, this weekend is BvS weekend. A lot of stuff in terms of those Batman v Superman jumping into the conversation. Jackie, this is all your fault because you posted it up and then it just happened. So we're going to blame Jackie for this. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for chiming in. We will do the same thing too. When Civil War comes out, we're going to have a non-spoiler, then a spoiler review, sit down 1 hour talk breakdown. We'll compare the comic books, introductions, all that kind of stuff in there, see if it is. I'm sure everybody will say, it's great, blah, 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 this and that. Let's see. Carl says he's a genius with a God complex. That's what I saw in the movie. The guy thought he was better than everybody else. I mean, in his own crazy way. And arrogance is a superpower. Jesse's Lex needed meds. When you actually add all three things together in a realistic setting, which is what this movie is trying to be based off, or the series is, you would need meds.
I don't even think meds would control them.
Yeah, I don't think so. 2578 Nicholas, what's up, man? So shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Carl, man. I love the conversation, bro. Thank you very much for chiming in. Jackie for starting up the conversation. Eddie, Dominique, everyone. Thank you for just chiming in. It's fun. It's always fun to do these discussions and argue. I mean, right now the movie is tracking at 180.
It's already made 100 million.
It's over. It's tracking at 180 for the US, I think, and worldwide it's about international is at 175. So,
bro, it made 82 last night.
Yeah, it made 82 last night.
So if it makes another 80 tonight,
that's 160, 62. Then he just needs to make
more because the 27 million.
No, Thursday night. The 27 is added to Friday.
Oh well, then. And then they still got Sunday's totals.
So Sunday, as long as it makes 60 million on Sunday, it's at 200.
This movie, they shouldn't be that upset. It's going to make its money.
Yeah, it's going to make it front loaded. We'll see how it does next week.
Now that's the question.
That's the question. Yeah.
Will it have repeat viewing going into these weekends down the line.
Yeah. So that's where it will play. But we'll see. Again, we'll do this with Civil War. We'll do it with X-Men, Apocalypse. We'll do it with Ninja Turtles, and of course Suicide Squad. And I'm going to check out that trailer next. Watch it. So guys, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel. We have 2 giveaways. Giving away lots of cool stuff. Big Android giveaway, about 9 prizes in total, as well as also our monthly giveaway. We also have 3 prizes there. So subscribe, enter the giveaways. The links in the description. Thank you very much again, and enjoy your entertainment.